Beautiful view of downtown Milwaukee on this Monday night over here at Miller Park. Great night for baseball, for tailgating too. Cincinnati Reds and the Brewers are ready to battle, and we've got it all for you right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Eric Thames has been waiting for a week for Reds pitching after slamming 5 home runs in only 4 games when these teams met in Cincinnati. So he is anxious to step into that batter's box again. And Ryan Braun has put up some monster numbers against the Reds in his career and is looking to add to that total over the next 3 games as well. Meanwhile, Joey Votto can paint a similar picture. Over the last 9 games in this ballpark, he has batted .424 while clubbing 4 round trippers here at Miller Park. Brewer pitchers hope to solve his issue here today. Hi everybody, Craig Kashan with you, back on board here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The Reds and the Brewers here tonight. Starting pitching going to be our focus right off the top, as Matt Garza is on the hill for the first time in 2017. He'll face the young kid Amir Garrett, the rookie, off to a terrific start for the Cincinnati Reds. His first 3 starts produce a 2-1 record and an ERA of just 1.83, and he has struck out 21 batters already while issuing just 3 free passes. Matt Garza looking to jumpstart what could be his final season in Milwaukee with his first start here in 2017. He's been on the DL with a groin issue, but is ready to give it a go after making 2 rehab starts on the minor league side. So there's your pitching matchup. Opposite extremes meet here tonight at Miller Park. And Garza could use some early runs in support for his efforts, considering how Jonathan Villar has done. He could be their guy. Matt and Rock have that story next.
On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Eric Thames, the first time around against the Reds, all he did was homer 5 times in that 4-game series. See if he can continue with that hot bat against the Redlegs beginning tonight. Good evening from inside Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Matt LePay, and Rock, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. We've talked a lot about that trio in this Brewers batting order, but now we're seeing the top of the order. Jonathan Villar had struggled the first couple of weeks, but now has a little hitting streak going, and that makes a good offense that much better.
Well, and again, I think the Brewers would like to be a little bit better with runners in scoring position and manufacturing runs, and that's exactly what Jonathan Villar can do for you, because when he gets on base, he puts a lot of pressure on the defense, stolen bases, taking extra bases. I mean, when he gets on, I mean, there's a lot of different ways the Brewers can score a run, and as of late, he's been doing a better job of that, cutting down on the strikeouts. He's actually drawing some walks, and you know, he's swinging the bat much better, taking the ball to the opposite field, and that's certainly a guy the Brewers need if they want to have that consistent offense.
Yeah, that's a big-time stat you're looking at there. When he gets on base and scores a run, that is a great, great sign for this Brewers team. A team that's trying to snap what is now a 3-game losing streak, opening up the series against the Cincinnati Reds. All kinds of star power here. Ryan Braun, 37 homers against the Reds. Joey Votto has gone deep against the Brewers. Who's going to shine tonight? And the Brewers are familiar division foes with 2 of the best hitters in the game. Joey Votto has made Miller Park one of his homes away from home, hitting better than .400 in his last 2 seasons here. Ryan Braun's success spreads across all teams, but his 37 home runs against the Reds is the most in his career. It's time to find out which star's success will continue in this series. Ryan Braun, who has had monster numbers against Cincinnati in his career, looking to keep that going and get the Brewers back on track as this 10-game homestand continues. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Have it all buttoned up here at Miller Park tonight as Brian Price all smiles after his team beat the Cubs yesterday to salvage a game in that series at Great American Ballpark. Let's check out the Reds batting order presented by Potawatomi. Billy Hamilton, per usual, leading off, followed by Jose Peraza and Joey Votto. Adam Duvall hits cleanup, followed by Eugenio Suarez and Scott Schebler. Zach Cozart, Stuart Turner behind the plate, Amir Garrett on the mound, and that's the lineup that will face Matt Garza making his season debut.
Yeah, right at the end of spring training, he came up with a groin issue. The Brewers placed him on the disabled list. He made 2 rehab starts, 1 in AAA, the last in A-ball. He did pitch in Appleton and was able to pitch into the 6th inning. making his career 15th start against Cincinnati.
And he is ready to roll. A 4-5 career record against the Reds, and his first pitch of the season is bounced into right field, a base hit. So Billy Hamilton, who started pretty well, had been scuffling of late, begins tonight with a single on the game's first pitch.
Now check out the Menards Brewers defense. You got Braun, Broxton, Santana in the outfield. Hernan Perez getting a start over to third base with the left-hander on the mound for the Reds. Travis Shaw sits this one out. Arcia VR up the middle. Eric Thames at first, and Manny Pena behind home plate.
So Matt Garza greeted by Billy Hamilton with a base hit right away. Garza last year, his season started late, and this season a few weeks behind, but gets his opportunity against the Reds here tonight. And a very dangerous base runner is aboard right away, and Billy Hamilton. Here's Jose Peraza. He too has been scuffling. As you see, the numbers there, his on base percentage just .256. The Reds hoping for much more in terms of getting on base from those top two in the order. Both are threats. You know about Hamilton. Peraza is good as well. Pitch is taken. Hamilton's running, and the throw goes into center field. Hamilton's going to try to get third. The throw from Broxton is offline, and just like that, the Reds have Hamilton 90 feet away from the plate.
And Manny Pena trying to make up for a pretty good jump. I think there was obstruction out there when Billy Hamilton got off of second base and tried to get to third base. Got tangled up out there, and obstruction happens right here. You can see VR getting in his way. The play continues. I think if Hamilton had gotten thrown out at third base, they would have awarded him third base.
Right. And he is at third as it is, and just like that, the Reds with a threat. 0-1 the count to Jose Peraza. So Matt Garza getting a rude greeting here to begin the game. Reds come in with a 10-9 record. Their win against the Cubs yesterday snapped a 4-game losing skid. The Brewers trying to stop their slide at 3 as Peraza sends one down the line, but foul. And a nice catch right out of the gate. That's why you bring your glove. Saw it yesterday. See it right away here tonight. Peraza, the second baseman for Bryant Price. These are a team that got out of the gate in great shape. They won 7 of their first 9, and then the Brewers went into Great American Ballpark and promptly won 3 of 4. There is a strikeout swinging that Manny Pena will secure for the first out of the night.
And breaking ball by Garza, and one of the reasons why he had such a rough spring training, he was trying to adjust his style. I mean, not a power pitcher anymore. Can't pitch like that like he did when he was younger, but he was working on changeups and curveballs. There's that curveball right there, getting Peraza on one down in the dirt. That's exactly where you want it with 2 strikes.
Here's Joey Votto trying to get that average back up. He has been heating up a little bit here of late as Votto. Over the last 9 games, hitting over 300. He's a guy who erupts in the second half of the season. That has been especially true the last couple of years. But as Craig Kashawn mentioned in Brewers Live, the average is down, but the RBI is still healthy. In fact, those 15 leading this Reds team coming into this series at Miller Park. Games tonight and tomorrow. Series wrap up Wednesday afternoon, and then the Atlanta Braves will come in beginning on Friday as the Crew continuing with his 10-game homestand. It's Votto is taken in. An appeal down at third. Third base umpire Greg Gibson tonight. Votto has had a lot of success against the Brewers, period. He has fared well against Garza, has taken Matt deep a couple of times, hitting .353 against tonight's starter. 1-1 pitch. Garza off speed, and Votto behind a ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a cut fastball right there. Got in on his hands. Well, you remember when the Brewers went into Cincinnati, the Reds were flying high. I mean, swinging the bats, hitting home runs. They were on a good winning streak, but they cooled off. The Brewer pitching cooled them off.
Yeah, Jimmy Nelson got that series started. Brewers bats coming alive. Eric Thames, just a terrific series at the plate. And start for the Reds through the first 3 series. That was as good a start as they've had since their last World Series team. Brian Price now in his 4th year. The Reds similar to the Brewers in building mode. Votto, the big ticket player on that roster, still several years left on his 10-year deal. Garza ready with a 2-2, and that is just off the plate.
A good pitch by Garza, and Joey Votto has about as good an eye at the plate as anybody in the game. Just a little bit off the outside corner. Boy, not by much.
Votto has walked 9 times so far this season, has led the National League in multiple years and taking bases on balls. As Garza ready for the payoff pitch, and he'll need another one. A couple of years ago, Votto walked 143 times. That's the single season high for Votto in his career, but that's been a big part of his game. 4 times, in fact, he has led the league in walks. 4-time All-Star Billy Hamilton got the game started with a single. Already has himself a stolen base.
I think he just broke that bat, just realized it.
His second half last year, he got on base about half the time he stepped to the plate. Had consecutive seasons where he has flipped the script. That was especially true last year as Votto takes a walk, and the Reds have runners at the corners with 1 out as we just get started at Miller Park.
Yeah, that's one of those at-bats right there that I think the Reds organization would certainly like to see Votto maybe a little bit more aggressive and be more of a run producer in situations like that, and he is very willing to take the walk.
Has been throughout the course of his career. Here is Adam Duvall. The Brewers did a pretty good job against him in that series at Great American Ballpark. Matter of fact, he was hitless in 11 at-bats, but he can be an extremely dangerous hitter. The All-Star from a year ago. Big power numbers.
Yeah, but the walk does set up a double play to get out of the inning.
And you see what Duvall did at Miller Park, some good numbers. It was a 33 homer season for Duvall last year. 1 strike pitch from Garza is fouled away.
Had a tremendous first half, made the All-Star team. I think the league caught up to him a little bit in the second half.
All but 10 of his 33 homers came before the All-Star break. He was part of that trade with the Giants a couple of years ago that involved yesterday's starting pitcher for the Cardinals, Mike Leake. Leake 2 years ago, right before the deadline, going from Cincinnati to San Francisco. 0-2 pitch. Reds off to this good start without some of their big thumpers delivering yet, and Duvall would be one of them, but they've been picked up by others, such as the on-deck hitter Eugenio Suarez. Zach Cozart off to a good start for this Reds team at the plate. Hamilton, the runner at third. Joey Votto at first. 0-2 the count to Adam Duvall. Duvall with 14 RBIs, second best on this Reds team. And again, the 2-strike pitch, and again a foul ball.
Has been off fastballs to Adam Duvall right here, and getting a lot of the plate with him as well. Be interesting to see the command for Garza. You know, the 1 strikeout that he does have in this inning was on a curveball, a good one too, down in the zone. That is a pitch that he was working on a lot in spring training.
Curveball, the changeup, right? He was talking about that a little bit during the course of spring training. Doesn't quite throw as hard as he used to, but trying to adjust to that. Is the 0-2 again to Duvall, and a swing and a foul tip into the mid of Manny Pena. And Garza's first 2 outs via the strikeout.
Yep, every pitch a fastball, and got him to chase upstairs. Good pitch with 2 strikes. Out of the zone. See if he'll chase, and he does.
.94 on that fastball from Garza. So 2 outs with runners at first and third. And here is Eugenio Suarez. Off to a very good start for this Reds team. Hitting .371, an on-base percentage of .458 for the third baseman. And Votto is going, and he'll have it uncontested. Pena kept an eye on Billy Hamilton over at third. There's the first swipe for Votto.
Yeah, looking to steal one. If Pena threw down, you knew Billy Hamilton was going to take off. Just by the way Votto was running to second base, he had no intention of really trying to steal it unless the Brewers just gave it to him.
1-0 the count to Suarez. He's homered 5 times, had a couple of long balls Saturday in the loss to the Cubs. A lot of runs scored in that game, but Suarez went deep against Jake Arrieta as well as Justin Grimm. Hamilton off the bag at third, likewise Votto at second. Garza trying to wiggle out of some trouble here in the first inning for him in this 2017 season. Break-even pitch.
Yeah, good velocity, right? 94, a couple of them in 94. He's been able to get the fastball by these Reds hitters. They haven't been able to get the bat head out.
Leadoff single from Hamilton. Stole second. Advanced on a throw that went into center. Votto a walk. Garza with a couple of strikeouts. Got Jose Peraza and Adam Duvall. He is 1-2 to Suarez. And a little chopper that is off the leg, off the foot, a foul ball. Well, that's been made of Suarez. His defense has been very good over at third. Doing a lot of work in the offseason. Reds have been pretty good defensively in these first 3 weeks. They are 10-9. The Brewers 9-11 coming into this season, or coming into this series.
They got the back foot. That doesn't happen all that often. And then almost turned the ankle. Usually you foul a ball off the front foot.
Explains the padding there, but hit the unpadded foot, unpadded part of the back leg. Again, the 1-2, and that is sharply hit. That's Aaron Perez over at third, and Garza gets out of trouble in inning number 1. Red strand 2. Good start for Garza. Brewers coming up. stranding 2 in the top half of the first inning, and now the Brewers get their first crack at it here tonight. Here's the Milwaukee batting order presented by Potawatomi. Jonathan Villar at the top, followed by Eric Thames and Ryan Braun. Domingo Santana hits cleanup. Manny Pena hitting 5th, followed by Hernan Perez. 7, 8 to 9, Keon Broxton, Orlando Arcia, and Matt Garza, and that's the lineup that squares off against the rookie left-hander for Cincinnati, Amir Garrett.
Yeah, he has been the talk of the National League so far. I mean, young guy, 24 years old, big kid, 6'5", 220 pounds. He's off to a terrific start. He spent 3 consecutive seasons in A-ball, was in AA and AAA last year, and
ground ball off the bat of Villar in the first pitch, gobbled up by Zach Cozart for out number 1.
And now making a name for himself in the major leagues. And quite the story. Good fastball, change up, and throw a curveball. And you can see what he's been able to do. His last time out, a loss. But look the way he was pitching. 12 strikeouts, 1 walk in 7 innings.
And you see those innings pitched too. I mean, you can look at all the numbers. This is a Reds rotation that on average cannot give Brian Price even 5 innings per game, but Garrett a very notable exception with the way he has started, at least through his first 3. It's Eric Thames, who, to put it mildly, had his way against Reds pitching, but they did not face Garrett at Great American Ballpark, and a swing and a miss from Thames, 2-1. Do like that changeup, as Rock mentioned. That's one of the things the folks in Cincinnati are saying about the tall left-handers, 6'5", nearly 230 pounds.
And he's got a kind of a slurvy slider to go with it. Breaks a little bit bigger than your normal slider. He was a 22nd round draft choice in 2011.
Played a lot of college basketball. As Thames a swing and a miss. Garrett played a couple of years at St. John's University, Big East Conference. We'll see what Thames did in Cincinnati the first time around. Homered in every game of the series, and a fly ball deep to right. He homered there. He homers here against Cincinnati. The story continues. Eric Thames, number 9.
Well, hung right in there on the slider. Maybe one too many sliders from Garrett. You can see that one stayed in the middle half of the plate, and Thames, I'll tell you, he handles that ball in there nicely. Pulls the hands in, pops the hips open, and rides one out of here to right. So once again, the Brewers able to put a run up in the first inning.
And Thames continues to punish left-handers. This is, we mentioned, home run number 9 for Thames. 3 of them against lefties. 7 for 13 against left-handed pitching.
He just handles that pitch inside just so well. He's able to barrel it up. That's the thing, and keep it fair.
Ryan Braun had a couple of home runs in that series in Cincinnati. It was the rare occasion where, and he was fine with it, by the way. He was overshadowed. He's put up such big numbers against the Reds. It's talked about a lot. Thames trumped him with what he did the first time around. 9 homers for Thames. 2/3 of them against Reds pitching. 2-1 the count.
Just waits for a mistake. That's what hitters do. You wait for a pitcher to put a pitch in a bad spot, and you take advantage of it. And that's what he did. A bad slider ends up in the seats.
3 balls, 1 strike to Ryan Braun. And a little chop foul off the foot.
And notice the fastball for Garrett. You're not talking about 95 to 98. You're talking, low 90s. I mean, he'll reach 94 when he really wants to, but they say he hides the baseball extremely well. Hitters have a difficult time picking it up. Keeps that baseball behind his back a long time. All of a sudden, it's on you. So 91, 92 appears a lot quicker to the hitter.
Garrett getting a rude greeting, only the second home run he's allowed. Braun just missed one to win the game yesterday. He represented the winning run, a warning track fly. Soon 1-0 that was gathered by Stephen Piscotty a couple of steps short of the wall. Brewers mounted a rally in the ninth inning yesterday against the Cardinals, but fell a couple of runs short. Manny Pena got that ninth started with a home run off the former Brewer and former Red, Jonathan Broxton.
And that's the thing about the Brew Crew. I mean, they have been in just about every game they've played this year, 9-11. And large portion of these games they've had a lead at some point, and when they haven't, they've been able to scratch back. Have just come up a little bit short on occasion.
Ryan Braun's beating himself up in this at bat. A couple of foul tips off his leg. 8th pitch of the at bat coming. And it goes off the glove of Garrett, but right to Peraza. And it turns into a 1-4-3 play at first. 2 men out.
Well, the Menards Reds defense, one of the best defenses in all of baseball. They're tied for the fewest errors in the National League. They've committed only 5 this year. They led the National League in double plays so far this year. Joey Votto, the Gold Glover, over at first base. And Billy Hamilton can certainly run them down out there in center field.
Yeah, Hamilton had a couple of big plays defensively in the series against the Brewers. Taking away extra base hits on a couple of occasions. Here is Domingo Santana. Trying to get it going, trying to stay patient. You can have the good at bats and not have a lot to show for it. Santana trying to hang in there.
And talking to Craig Counsell before the game around the batting cage, we were talking about Santana, and he says he kind of likes where he is right now. He's just hitting into some bad luck. Yeah, for the most part, just a little bit under 200, but Counsell has been pleased with his at bats.
Yeah, that's where if you look at a 1 for 13, the story goes deeper than that. And Santana's manager and hitting coach Darnell Coles, hang in there, and hang in there Santana does as he works Amir Garrett for a 2-out walk. That will warrant an early visit from Stuart Turner. Catching tonight. Tucker Barnhart not in the lineup. Well, Garrett in the minor leagues had trouble times with control. It has not been the case so far with the big club. Here is Manny Pena. A 9-game hitting streak going for Pena. He homered in the 9th inning yesterday. It has been a healthy average in that stretch too. 15 for 32.
Yeah, Garrett not blessed with a great move, but he will step off and throw over. That's where he's most effective, keeping runners close.
A 24-year-old rookie Amir Garrett. We talked about Pena's hitting streak of 9 games that he has going. He is spraying the ball all over the ballpark. Showed the power yesterday, but here he is, Rock, just getting it done.
And does a good job, shortening up with 2 strikes. I mean, not a guy that's going to punch out a lot. Puts the bat on the baseball and goes to right field extremely well, particularly when he's got 2 strikes. Almost as if he's looking to go in that direction, and waiting as long as he can. And it's been an impressive start for Manny.
Pena Bandy combo continues to be extremely impressive for the Brewers. Pena showing off that arm once again over the weekend. No balls, 2 strikes to the catcher Pena as Santana draws another throw. Brewers again with a run in the first inning. They have scored 19 first inning runs. And they've hit 6 first inning homers, including 1 tonight. Stewart keeps it in front of him. Stuart Turner behind the plate.
And backup catcher to Tucker Barnhart. Barnhart, a tremendous throwing catcher. Brewers took some liberties on Turner in Cincinnati with the running game. Trick's going to be to get a jump on Garrett.
Turner has yet to throw out a runner. The ball, 2 strikes to Pena. And that's shot through the right side, a base hit. Santana motoring to third, and this first inning will continue for Milwaukee.
There's that right field stroke once again with 2 strikes. Just has a good approach up at the plate. Fastball from Garrett. Looked like it was right down the middle, but Pena all the way going to right. Watch the way that ball travels right off his front leg and able to get it out of the reach of Peraza at second. Santana motors into third base. Well, you gotta love that approach. Solid.
Continues to hit, make it 10 straight now. The streak for Pena. Here's Hernan Perez. And a swing and a fly ball, deep center field. Hamilton looking, and it's gone! 3-run rocket from Hernan Perez as the Brewers jump to a 4-0 lead.
There you go. Welcome to the starting lineup. Hernan Perez. Has been difficult for him to find the starting lineup with the way Shaw's been swinging the bat. Not wasting any time. Changeup. There's that changeup from Garrett, and look at the way he barrels that one up right back into center field, high off the batter's eye, and the Brewers with a 4-run first. Up off the scoreboard above the batter's eye.
This team has no interest in wall scrapers. Just one no-doubter after another, and the Brewers now with 36 home runs as a team and 2 in the first inning. Second of the year for Perez. There's Keon Broxton. Bouncing ball over to Suarez, and the inning is over, but a sweet inning it is for the Milwaukee Brewers as Eric Thames goes downtown greeting Amir Garrett up into the second level as Bernie with a quick trip down the slide. Brewers up 4-0 after 1. Homer of the year in the first inning as he continues to pound Reds pitching. Hernan Perez, his second of the season, a 3-run shot. Just like that again, the Brewers have the early lead as we move to the top half of the second inning. Well, scoring first has not been a problem for the Brewers. Now we'll see if they can go through the middle and into the game, and just as impressive a fashion as Scott Schebler will lead things off. Schebler, one of those Reds who had been struggling mightily, went through an 0 for 15 that he snapped on Friday, 3 for his last 25, but did have a couple of hits yesterday, including a home run. He started slowly last year and then turned out to have a pretty good year for himself when he took over the regular job in right field after the Reds sent Jay Bruce to the New York Mets. Second inning of work for Matt Garza. Schebler fouls it out of play. Garza got out of some trouble in the first. Schebler, Cozart, and Stuart Turner here for Cincinnati in the top half of the second. Reds had him at the corners with one out, but Garza worked himself out of trouble, getting a strikeout of Adam Duvall and a ground ball from Eugenio Suarez.
And doing it basically with just a fastball. He threw the one curveball to get Peraza, but he was throwing fastballs. Got Duvall and Suarez.
A ball, 2 strikes. Garza versus Schebler leading off the second inning. Four homers. He has driven in 9. See the alignment again. VR out there on the grass in shallow right. Marcia on the second base side of the bag. 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 3 for Garza.
Another fastball, 92 miles an hour, up out of the strike zone. You know, maybe all this talk, everybody talking about Garza trying to be more of a control pitcher off speed. Maybe the Reds are somewhat fooled by some of these fastballs, or at least as many as he's been able to throw so far.
A long wait for Garza. Frustrating time going on the DL just before the regular season began because of the groin injury. Had a lat injury that got last year off to a late start. Zach Cozart was out of the lineup yesterday with a sore left wrist, but back in there tonight for Brian Price. He's off to a very good start. On base percentage of .444 for the Red shortstop. And had a good series at the plate against the Brewers. Had 6 hits and 13 at bats. Garza ready with a 1-1. Two building franchises here in the National League Central. Both with a lot of, or at least some veteran savvy with Votto and Braun, and some good young talent as well.
Yeah, the Reds have a couple of guys in the top 10 in batting average. Cozart, one of them. And when the Brewers were in Cincinnati, he was leading the league and he was batting 7th. That's how good a start they were off to.
Yeah, they were off to a terrific start. Top of the order was getting on base. A lot of regularity. That has slowed down here a bit. 2-2 pitch. And this is in the air, right side. It's going to drift into foul territory and just into the seats. Yeah, 3 of the top 6 hitters by way of average in the National League in this series. You're looking at one of them. Aaron Eric Thames. Cozart just ahead of him, and Suarez 4th. Thames with his 9th homer of the year in the first inning to open up the scoring here tonight. Hernan Perez with a 3-run blast. And again, the 2-2 pitch. Cozart wasting another one. Guys are working that fastball again.
Yeah, working it inside. Has not made a mistake with it.
Craig Counsell asked before the game, what are you expecting? And it's a question that's hard to answer. You're hoping just to get the best that you can out of Matt. First time out, see if he can give you some good innings. As Cozart sends one into the corner in right field, that's going to be extra bases. Santana will run it down. Cozart turning second, and he's not going to stop. All the way around to third goes Zach Cozart with a one-out triple.
That fastball out away from him, went right with it. Now the pitch before was a fastball in, jammed him. Check out where this one is, out away from him, and just takes it into right field. And with his speed, that's an easy triple down in the corner there. It takes a while for Santana to get in there. He was pretty much straight away and right. And there's a triples alley down there in the corner here at Miller Park.
4 triples already this year for Zach Cozart, which, as you might imagine, leads the National League. Here is Stuart Turner, Rule 5 pick from the Minnesota Twins. Last year he was in Double-A. Makes the jump. Reds still awaiting the return of Devin Mesoraco, who is continuing his rehab assignment in the minor leagues, trying to get that all-star catcher from a couple of years ago back into the fold. He's had last 2 years wiped out because of injuries.
Man, you wonder how effective he's going to be. I mean, you can't miss 2 full seasons basically and expect to come back in all-star form. That's impossible.
Oh, you're right.
We'll see, though. And with the injury, he hadn't been able to do anything.
And they're just trying to work him into back-to-back games. Talking about Mesoraco. He was actually dinged up a little bit. They didn't think it was serious. He was covering third on a play, and Mesoraco took a slide to the leg there that bothered him a little bit. So Reds organization still holding its breath there. Brewers are looking for a good outing first time around from Matt Garza as he comes back from his injury. And a strike to Stuart Turner. Second time in as many innings the Reds have a runner at third. Less than 2 outs. 3-1 the count to Turner. And did he go? Yes, he did. Jim Wolf, the first base umpire.
Looked like a strike anyway. Does he go? Yep. Might have been low.
Full count to the Reds catcher. Pitcher Amir Garrett is on deck. 3-2. And 40 pitches for Matt with 1 out here in the second inning. Again, the payoff pitch, and that is hit well right center field. That's slicing away from Broxton, and he reaches up and can't get it. Cozart's going to score as Stuart Turner will coast into second with an RBI double.
And falling behind in the count, the backup catcher for the Reds able to drive one out there into right center. Garza fell behind 3-0. He came back with a 3-2 pitch. And got one to hit up out over the plate and just over the head of Broxton. And Broxton playing shallow out there in center, just not able to get there.
So the Reds get their first run of the night. And now the pitcher Amir Garrett settles in. .65, about 230 pounds, this 24-year-old out of Victorville, California. Swinging and pops this one up into right center field, and that'll be Domingo Santana putting it away for out number 2.
Hey, it's back. Spring Madness 414 returns to Miller Park this Friday through Sunday with $4 beers, $1 hot dogs and sodas, and $4 nachos. Available at all 3 games of the weekend series against the Braves. Go to brewers.com/madness for tickets.
That is awesome. Order them all. We're all in. Beers, dogs, nachos.
Have a pretty good fill up on $10.
That is a beautiful thing. 2 men out. Stuart Turner, the runner at second. Billy Hamilton. And after the first pitch of the night from Matt Garza, slapped a single into right field. Hamilton showing bunt and pulling back. Reds with a run across here in the second after the Brewers on the strength of the home run ball, scoring 4 times in the first inning. Giving Matt Garza an early pad. He was 0-2 last year against the Reds. 2 starts he had, pitched into some bad luck. And wandering off the bag, and the throw gets away. It went off of Turner, it looked like, and trickled into center field.
Yeah, nothing there that time. I mean, you know, Arcia crept in behind. Not a whole lot of daylight between Arcia and the runner. You could check it out. I mean, that was not going to end well. It hits Turner, and he ends up into third base, right in the back of the arm.
Couple of errors early here tonight.
I always like to see a little bit of daylight between the fielder and the runner when you're trying to pick him off at second. There wasn't much there.
2-1 the count to Billy Hamilton. Cards are missing upstairs with a fastball. The Reds making Garza work here through these first couple of innings. And Hamilton sends one into left field. Lots of room for Ryan Braun. And no further damage is done. So a run scoring single from Turner. That's it. We're through an inning and a half. It's 4-1. Brewers leading the Reds. Four-1 Brew Crew. Bottom of the second we go at Miller Park. Now time for our car soup scoop from the clubhouse. Kirk Neuenhuis has in fact accepted the outright assignment to AAA Colorado Springs. Greg Counsell earlier this afternoon talking with the assembled media, because it begs the question with those promising outfielders with the Sky Sox, Ryan Cordell, Lewis Brinson, Brett Phillips. And their playing time as Orlando Arcia will loft a fly ball to right, and very quickly Scott Schebler handles it for out number 1. But it certainly begs the question. Fans have heard a lot about that outfield trio at Colorado Springs, and Counsell very clear in saying, look, this isn't about stunting anyone's growth down there, Brinson, Cordell, or Phillips, but they like Neuenhuis. They want to give him a chance to maybe get some things straightened out. Rick Sweet down there, Rock, you know him well, and do what they can to get Neuenhuis his turns, and at the same time still allowing those young outfielders to continue developing.
Yeah, those guys are going to get their playing time. Neuenhuis will get some, but I think more or less it's insurance for the Brewers as far as outfield right now in the big leagues. If something happens today, tomorrow, you might have a guy. Of course, Neuenhuis have to wait a little bit, but down the road, there's nothing wrong with having a big league ready guy ready to fit in, as the season goes on.
Matt Garza is out on strikes. Garrett making quick work of his counterpart, quickly 2 away. And yeah, a final note on that too, what Counsell was talking about, and he mentioned it over the weekend, and I don't think it's just manager speak. He likes Neuenhuis. He was really without prompting talking about what he's a good guy to have in the clubhouse, a good teammate. We all know about the home road splits, and with Neuenhuis accepting the assignment to AAA, it's someone that I think this organization wanted to keep Neuenhuis within it if Neuenhuis was good with that.
And he wasn't. If he wasn't that kind of guy, they would have just sent him packing.
Right.
Exactly. Understanding what he was going to be faced with down in the minor leagues,
right.
Not a lot of playing time.
There's some tremendous talent down there. We'll get into that more as we move along in this game tonight. Minor leaguers, a number of guys that are off to terrific starts at every level. As we move through this ball game tonight, we'll give you a little more detail about that. Jonathan VR with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom half of the second. VR grounded to Cozart in the first inning. Jonathan with a 5-game hitting streak coming into tonight's game. Yesterday had a hit and walked a couple of times against the Cardinals. Very promising series at the plate for him.
There you go.
Drawing a walk here, so he's drawing some walks. It's starting to rack him up here a little bit. Hadn't walked much at all, but now taking a few. And now here is Eric Thames. He has played 5 games against the Reds. He's homered 6 times. Our Powerball home run count. 6 bombs for Thames against the Reds alone.
Yeah, that last one right there, you can see how far inside that slider was, but pulls the hands in, barrels it up, and knocks it out of here. That's a strong man at the plate.
He is wearing out left-handed pitching. You see the overall numbers, and add to that an on-base percentage of .468. So he continues to be at or near the top in the National League in a lot of categories. We know opening day was just 3 weeks ago, but
yeah, Thames 7 for 13 against lefties.
Yeah, that'll get everybody's attention.
Yeah, right.
See the Reds adjusting defensively. And Thames goes the other way, left field. Back goes Duvall, up against the wall. It's gone. Eric Thames bombs away at Miller Park. How fun is that?
Yeah, winning's fun, isn't it? What's left to be said about Eric Thames? I mean, we've said just about everything you can say about what he's been able to do and how he does it. Just amazing the success that he has had against Cincinnati.
Oh my goodness. Here's Ryan Braun out of play.
I wish there's something new you can say about it. There's a slider again. Why he threw it again, I'm not sure. But that one up out over the plate goes right with it. Nice short stroke. See you later. Oh, so 2 outs, nobody on, walk, home run. The Brewers add to their lead. Oppo shot.
Good to see the walks haunt the other guys. Amir Garrett in his first 3 starts gave up 1 home run. He's given up 3 tonight, 2 to that guy, Eric Thames.
And the most runs he gave up was 2.
He is getting his welcome to the big leagues moment. And Braun down the line. Nice backhand stop by Suarez. And that's an impressive play to end the 2nd inning. But the Brewers off to a red hot start with the bats. As he put a couple of more on the board. Eric Thames 2 for 2. 2 homers. He has driven in 3 as he says hello to Amir Garrett. 6-1 Brewers after 2. Top of the 3rd, Eric Thames 2 at-bats, 2 long balls here for the Brewers tonight as he continues to batter Reds pitching. After the series in Cincinnati, Brian Price, the Red skipper, saying he understood that Thames had a cult following going in his time in Korea. He would imagine that Thames is getting one in Milwaukee. I believe you are correct, sir. It extends beyond Milwaukee. I think he's getting the state covered in very quick fashion. Matt Garza, his 3rd inning of work. It'll be Peraza, Votto, and Duvall. Reds getting their first run of the night in the 2nd inning. An RBI double from catcher Stuart Turner as he picked up Zach Kozark, who tripled with 1 out.
Nice for Matt Garza to have a nice lead to work with in his first start.
Works a curveball to Peraza and a count 1-2 to the Cincinnati second baseman. Yeah, that's a great welcome back for Garza. You get a little cushion here in the early going. We'll see how much Craig Counsell will get out of Garza here tonight. This is pitch number 52 for him, and that's hit sharply. Nice stop. Hernan Perez for out number 1.
Man, alive. How about that? I tell you, Suarez made a heck of a play to end that last inning for Cincinnati, taking a base hit away from Ryan Braun. That was a rocket, a one-hopper. Perez with the quick hands. Just a little bit behind the bag. Look at that hop. That ball was by him. And the big arm able to get him.
Yeah, I'll take that. says Matt Garza.
Nothing to it. These guys are something. These athletes.
They really are.
Incredible.
I like Perez. Just give me a glove. I'll play anywhere for you. Here's Joey Votto. Walked in the first, was left stranded. Reds had a threat in the first. Runners at the corners with one out. Garza got out of it. So the Brewers are short on long-time Brewer players, and the Reds, after moving Brandon Phillips in the offseason, Votto, the unquestioned vets of the group, in the middle of a 10-year contract. Monster numbers dollars-wise for Votto. Been an MVP in the league.
Just an incredible hitter. Really is.
Swing and a foul tip that Pena will hang on to even the count 2-2. And they say Votto is brutally tough on himself.
You just saw it right there. I mean, he's just upset with himself because he swung at a pitch out of the strike zone. He doesn't like doing that.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Garza trying to put him away.
Craig Counsell has said about Eric Thames that he takes every pitch personally. I think this guy at the plate, he could say the same thing.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Talk about being locked in. Tunnel vision.
Chokes up on that bat as Garza works the payoff pitch. And Votto reaches on a walk for the second time in as many plate appearances tonight. Second walk given up by Matt. 1 out, 1 on here for Cincinnati in inning number 3. Left fielder Adam Duvall to the plate. Duvall goes after the first pitch.
Yeah, good 2-seamer by Garza right there. And basically 4 seamers for Matt so far. Got a little sink on that last pitch.
Reds have had base runners in each of the first 3. Only 1 is scored as Garza bounces one up there, a curve to even the count. Duvall last year did a fair amount of damage against the Reds. He drove in 100, or against the Brewers I should say, drove in 103 runs, 21 against Milwaukee pitching. As we mentioned, most of that damage though overall was done in the first half of the season.
Well, you play the teams in your own division, what, 19 times?
That's right. You have a lot of chances.
Or thereabouts. I mean, 21 RBIs, 19 games, not too shabby, huh?
Yeah, if you look at it that way, yeah. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, the big thumpers against one another, and it's been the case for years. Votto against the Brewers, Braun against the Reds.
Hey, the one guy the Brewers don't mind not seeing anymore, Jay Bruce. He's over there with the Mets. That guy used to kill the Brewers.
Yeah, he could be in the worst of slumps, and then it changed. It seemed when the Brewers came up on the schedule, either here or there.
Yeah, here come the homers. That guy was something else.
We'll actually see Bruce in May when the Mets come to town, but Getting them out of the division is not a bad thing.
They only have to deal with them, what, 6 times?
That's right. Big difference. 3-2 the count to Adam Duvall. And this is popped up. Over goes VR, and in foul territory. He'll put it away for out number 2.
And a long way to go. He was shaded up the middle. That would have been a very difficult play for Thames. But VR with good speed able to get there. And Eric Thames happy he was there. That would have been a very difficult play, going straight back. Watch Thames. He's going back, trying to get a sense of where it's at. Much better angle for VR, and he makes the catch.
2 outs. Joey Votto the runner at first for Eugenio Suarez. Into the first inning with a ground out. Suarez 4 for 10 now in his chances against Garza the last couple of years. Turned in an impressive play at third already. Both third basemen have. Perez for the Brewers, Suarez for Cincinnati. The Reds' third baseman with 12 RBIs so far this season to go with his 5 home runs. Brewers continuing their swing of Central Division play, and that'll be broken up briefly over the weekend when the Atlanta Braves come to town, and then the next road trip takes the crew to St. Louis for 4 and then Pittsburgh for 3. A good heavy dose of the NL Central to get this first month of the season going. Brewers proven, as we've discussed already tonight, the 9-11 record. Those 11 losses, a lot of coulda shouldas in there. It's been a very competitive team in this first month.
Yeah, Brewers have had leads in every game they've played this year except for 2. They've been right there.
It's a big departure from the last couple. Last year it seemed like they were looking up at a 3 or a 4 run deficit early in games, and just 2 years ago it was a real rugged start that eventually led to the change in managers from Ron Renneke to Craig Counsell. Counsell coming up here soon on the 2-year anniversary of his managerial debut. This is it's a club under Counsell's direction starting to really get that culture to take place and established. Did that certainly last year with how this team played in September. And the general idea is to be competitive. I know it. You want to be that way, but this team's winning some games here. And just as I say that, Orlando Arcia does something he hasn't done in 42 games.
Yeah.
Just kick the ground ball.
And that was an easy chance for him. Right at him. Went right through the glove. That's an error on Arcia's first of the season. That's about as automatic as it gets for him. Right through him. He's 6.
Had gone 42 straight games without a miscue. And Orlando Arcia was starting to show signs that he was ready to give chase to Mark Loretta. He had 63 straight games without an error, going back to the 2000 and 2001 season. That streak ends at 42 for Arcia. Here's Scott Schebler. And there's a fly ball that will hook foul down the right field line.
That's the way it goes a lot of times, doesn't it? You know, the error or the error that extends the inning, and first pitch, you figure Schebler might drive one out of you. That's kind of the way things go sometimes when you commit an error. Brewers haven't committed many, but the ones that they have cost them runs.
A couple of throwing miscues tonight, and then the kicked ground ball, 3 of them here so far for the Brewers. And you fear a guy like Schebler that he could heat up. Mentioned a couple of hits yesterday, including a home run against the Cubs. Reds beat up on John Lackey at Great American Ballpark yesterday afternoon. Schebler's bat has been quiet for long stretches in this first month. A ball to strike. And a fastball missing there, 2-1.
Man, Sam Holbrook doesn't like that low strike.
No. Holbrook, the crew chief of this crew as well. 2 balls, 1 strike the count to the Reds right fielder. Matt's had to work out of some trouble in these early innings. Reds touched him up for a run in the second.
Man, it hasn't been easy. He's in the middle of it once again here in the 3rd inning. Yeah, with this pitch count right now, it's going to be difficult for him to get through 5 innings.
The 74th pitch of the night coming up for Garza. Reds have stranded 3, including 2 in scoring position. 2 on with Votto the lead runner at second, Suarez at first. And there's a fly ball hit back into left field. Ryan Braun drifting back, and that's out of here. And just like that, it's 6-4.
Yep. Give him an inch. Give him those extra outs, and they're going to kill you. A 3-run shot. Opposite field for Schebler. He's starting to heat up.
Worst fears confirmed there.
Yep, fastball away. Schebler goes down and gets it, and he's got the good backspin. It carries on out of here. A 2-out, 3-run homer.
And the bats are alive, both sides here tonight. Here is Zach Cozart. And Garza had 2 strikes and nothing. Cozart scored the first run of the night for the Reds after a 1-out triple in the last inning. Came around on a Stuart Turner double. Now with Garza back in the rotation, Tommy Malone moving to the bullpen. Brent Suter, by the way, sent down to AAA Colorado Springs. One-two pitch to Cozart. And a busy night here for Garza. 78 pitches through 2 2/3. Reds with a 3 spot in the 3rd. A Scott Schebler opposite field home run. And now a full count to Zach Cozart. He's had some big numbers, and he has battered starting pitching this season. Came in .486 against starting pitching, and he is 1 for 1 with a walk tonight. So the inning extends to at least another batter, as Craig Counsell on the phone right now, as that bullpen is going to be busy, it looks like, here for the crew.
Got to be Tommy Malone. This is his day to start. He started 5 days ago in Chicago and pitched very well. You figure he's going to be the first out of the gate.
Pitching coach Derek Johnson with the slow walk here to the mound, and
they're going to go Drake.
Oliver Drake. Well, he's gone nothing but multiple innings here for the Brewers. Two innings. It's timeout for the crew. He's coming over in that recent trade with the Baltimore Orioles. Actually debuted as a Brewer in Cincinnati. First order of business, see if Garza can finish up this 3rd inning. Look at Drake getting loose with a little tempo. Here's Stuart Turner. Cozart, the runner at first. Turner an RBI double, his first at bat tonight. Now Garza having trouble locating the strike zone. A couple of walks from Garza here in this inning. One to Votto and one a moment ago to Cozart. And there's a ground ball over to Perez, and the play is at second, and the inning is over. But the Reds get back into the game. Schebler a 3-run homer. It's 6-4 Brew Crew. As we look at some other items around baseball, boy, Colorado Rockies, check out that start. 13 wins already after sweeping the Giants over the weekend. And Daniel Murphy, remember, he helped the Mets get to the World Series a couple of years ago. Now he's beaten up with his old team. Second year with the Nationals. 8 homers against the Mets in the last year and change. And then the Phillies yesterday go back to back to back in a sweep of the Atlanta Braves in Philadelphia. We'll see the Braves here this weekend.
How about the news on Bumgarner, huh? 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, the dirt bike accident.
That's not good.
No, not good at all. That's one of those, you hear a lot of talk, no matter the platform, as Domingo Santana leads things off. Everybody's wondering, what kind of, how's your contract written? In a lot of cases, Bill, you would know this, not supposed to do those kind of things, right? Riding a dirt bike. But if you're Madison Bumgarner, even if that's in your contract, if you're the ball club, you got some nice jewelry that Mad Bum helped get you on your finger.
3 of them?
Yeah. So maybe like you're disappointed, but like, don't do that again.
They can rip up the contract, but what kind of money is he going to get if they do?
Thank you very much. Right?
I mean, it's a pretty good bargain.
Yes. Big time.
About $11 million.
Big time
for what he does.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's a fact of life. They say, you treat everybody the same until you don't. This guy's really good.
Yeah, those clauses in contracts for guys like myself. Yeah, I think they'd be executed pretty quickly.
You see that little sign over the door that says exit?
Exit stays left.
Well, it's a huge hit, though, with Bumgarner for a team that expectations are always high, right, with the Giants. And
it's going to hurt them, no doubt. I mean, look what happened. I mean, not just what he gives you on every 5th day, but just the whole mentality of the clubhouse knowing he's there every 5th day. I mean, it's got to be kind of a letdown for the whole team.
Giants, Santana draws a walk. Giants sitting 6-13. We gave you the Rockies record. The Giants the exact opposite. The Rockies, Diamondbacks off to a good start. Again, it's just April. What you don't want to do is bury yourself like maybe the Blue Jays have been in the process of doing at 5-13. It seems like the Dodgers hovering right around 500. Interesting storylines in the early weeks of the season. Red Sox and Orioles had a little drama going on over the weekend. There's that quick throw over to first we talked about with Garrett. Keep Santana in check.
And Manny Machado in the middle of it once again.
Yeah, he and Dustin Pedroia. As a takeout slide that wasn't when Machado went hard in the second on Friday, and Pedroia was hurt. Just have an MRI on that leg today. And then yesterday, as Santana is on the move, the pitch is taken, and Santana has second. The throw hits Domingo. And he'll hold there at second base, a stolen base for the right fielder.
Yeah, good jump by Santana right there. Either you had a good read on him or he just went on the first move. And not a good throw by Turner. We talked about the fact that the Brewers took liberties with Turner behind home plate. See the way this ball sails. It hits Domingo right in the shoulder.
Third stolen base for Santana. 2 balls, no strikes to Manny Pena. Brewers with 4 in the first, 2 in the second. And Pena will lift one into left field. Adam Duvall with room toward the line for out number 1. Yeah, to finish the thought of the Red Sox Orioles dust up over the weekend after Pedroia was hurt on Friday night. It was yesterday afternoon. But relief pitcher Matt Barnes threw one behind the head of Machado. Actually went off the bat of Machado.
Yeah.
And then the dust up started. And as it turns out, Barnes was suspended for 4 games. You know, Pedroia, though, to his credit, he had no ill will. He said, look, I like Machado. And he said he couldn't even tell you the takeout slide rule. He said, but I was hurt. And you expect to get hit. Here's Hernan Perez sending one fair down the left field line. Santana will coast in, and Hernan Perez off to a terrific night at the plate as he follows a 3-run homer in the first with an RBI double in the third.
Oh, he's seen 2 pitches and he's driven in, what is it, 4 runs? 3 runs, 4. Yeah, 3-run homer. There you go, slider first pitch. Hit a changeup out his first time up. He's making the most of those 2 pitches that he's seen. Good job by the fan keeping his hand off the baseball. Cruises on in with a double.
Started up. Hernan Perez ties a career high with the 4 RBIs. So a 7-4 game. There's Amir Garrett getting knocked around Miller Park tonight.
Earned run average up to 4.5. Doesn't take much.
No, it
One
doesn't.
bad outing. He's had 3 terrific starts. There's still no activity in that Reds pen.
An hour and 20 minutes ago, his ERA was 1.83. Broxton sharply hit one hopper to Cozart. Out number 2.
Has it been an hour and 20 already?
It has. Time flies, Rock. Reds and Cubs had a slugfest on Saturday. I believe it took a couple hours to get through the first couple innings. A lot of offense going on.
Yeah.
A lot of offense here tonight.
Plenty tonight, 11 runs, 3 innings.
Like hitting, this is the place to be. Here's Orlando Arcia. Fly ball to right to begin the second inning. Well, Brewers have scored in each of the first 3. Arcia scooped up by Cozart. And the throw. Votto can't dig it out. And Arcia is on. That'll be an error, and the Brewers inning extends. Runners at first and third.
A heck of a play by Cozart. Just couldn't finish it with a throw. The Brewers making some pretty solid contact on Garrett here tonight. Really vital not able to handle the short hop. That's normally one he's going to be able to handle. Kind of an in-between hop, I guess maybe not. Right off the heel of the glove, and inning stays alive.
Here's Garza. First error of the night charged to Cincinnati. Just the 6th of the year to the Reds.
They've got 6 errors and 3 of them committed against Milwaukee.
That's right. A ball, a strike to Matt Garza. Brewers scoring this inning, the first run without the benefit of a homer, and Garza runs scoring single to right. How about that? Perez is in. 8-4 Milwaukee.
Well, so both errors in the game, one by the Brewers, one by Cincinnati, have cost their teams runs. Yeah, that ground ball by Arcia would have ended the inning, giving Garza a chance, and well, Matt Garza hits that one hard into right field, and plates Hernan Perez. How about that? Running hard down the line for fear of getting thrown out from right.
How about pitchers at the plate here in the last few games? It's good to see the Brewers delivering again. We actually did see Willie Peralta get a run scoring single for the Brewers on Friday night, but Adam Wainwright for the big night at the plate. Mike Leake delivering. There's Willie. RBI knock, and now he sees his teammate Matt Garza do the same thing. The lineup turns over to Jonathan Villar. Villar with a bouncing ball over to Cozart, and the feed to Peraza will end the inning. But the Brewers again a scoring inning, a couple on the board. After 3, it's 8-4 Milwaukee. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. All right, Brewers lead the Reds 8-4. Eric Thames, a huge night so far. A couple of swings, couple of long balls here for the crew. And we're talking about Thames with the home runs. Rock, you're going to be part of something tomorrow morning at the ballpark. Little home run derby of your own going on here tomorrow.
Yeah, it's for charity. Looking forward to it. Me and, I'm not going to say that I'm part of the media, but there are going to be media types and myself We're going to be participating in a home run derby here at the ballpark for charity. I'm guaranteed to give $1,000 to the Fisher House, and that's why we're doing this. So all for charity. It's going to be fun.
Oh, it'll be a great time. And a lot of local media representatives will be here, and Rock Schroeder will be here as well. And
yeah, courtesy of the Wisconsin Toyota dealers and the Brewers Community Foundation. Is going to be fun.
So that badge that you have, it doesn't say media on there. It just says
rights holder.
Rights
holder.
Must know. It does.
Yeah. See. I told him, I said, I don't want a media badge anymore. I've had one for 20 years. I'm not media. Got to draw a line in the sand somewhere, don't you?
I understand. I understand fully. Here's Amir Garrett leading things off.
It should say #1 Brewers fan, but hey,
that would work.
Not sure that gets me into the ballpark.
Good try. Well, good timing for a home run derby event tomorrow. Long ball factor tonight. Amir Garrett has given up 3 of them. As Brian Price trying to ride this out for a while with his rookie left-hander. That Garza run-scoring single against Garrett, part of a 2-run 3rd inning. 0-2 the counts. And a swing and a miss. And a punch out for Garza, his 4th of the night. Back to the top for Billy Hamilton. Well, the Brewers did a pretty decent job of keeping him off the bases in that series in Cincinnati. And one of the times he got on, Manny Pena threw him out trying to steal. It's the only time Hamilton's been caught this year. Brewers have had some success behind the plate against Hamilton. He was very efficient stealing bases. Last year, Cincinnati, a game ended. Jonathan Lucroy throwing out Hamilton trying to steal.
Yeah, Brewers caught him twice last year. Not an easy thing to do. You need a lot of help. You need help from the pitcher. It's not just the catcher. Combination. Pitcher has to get rid of it quickly, and you hope that Hamilton doesn't get a good jump.
2-0 pitch. As it gets one in there. Eight runs on 6 hits for the Crew, 4 on 4 hits for the Reds. And Hamilton bloops one into left field. Braun has it measured, and quickly there are 2 men out.
Yeah, that's what you want to try and do. Get Billy Hamilton, put it in the air to the opposite field. Pretty good chance he's going to stay in the ballpark.
Well, Matt Garza looking for his first clean inning of the night. Here is Jose Peraza. Struck out and grounded to 3rd in the 3rd inning. Pitch count now over 90 for Garza. Get himself a quick inning here in the 4th. Break even pitch. Reds trying to get Peraza going. On base percentage of just .250. Strikeout of Garrett, a fly ball off the bat of Hamilton, and a foul ball here off the bat of Peraza.
The activity once again in that Brewers bullpen. Looks like Marinez now. Just in case Garza has a difficult time getting through this inning.
Saw Martinez yesterday in relief of Jimmy Nelson. Craig Counsell now ready to see Garza with his 94th pitch, and a ground ball charged by Arcia. Good play and a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Garza. Well, the Brewers maintaining a 4-run lead. Big night in progress for Eric Thames, who has homered twice, has driven in 3, and he'll lead off the 4th for the Brew Crew. Tonight, not a whole lot of doubt. Eric Thames just pounding away against Reds pitching. The first big leaguer to 10 home runs this season, 7 of them at the expense of the Cincinnati Reds. 2 homers and 3 RBIs tonight for Thames as he gets another crack at it against Amir Garrett.
Yeah, both of them coming on sliders. Nope, not going to see one, is he?
Nope. You wouldn't think, and he hasn't yet here in this at-bat. Well, Thames getting into some rare air here in Brewers history in the first month of the season with the 10 home runs. Have to go back a ways. The last time that happened in the month of April, Carlos Lee put 10 over the wall.
El Caballo.
El Caballo, that's right.
Yeah. Boy, he could hit.
3 balls, 1 strike.
There's a shocker.
Yep. He's not going to mess around with him, and you get it, but the on-deck hitter's Ryan Braun. That's when you know you're going well. You'll pitch around Thames. That's that first step's a doozy up there. Be careful, Bernie. Here's Ryan Braun. Remember, he did homer twice in the series in Cincinnati. Stop number 2 in that first road trip of the year for the Crew.
They won 3 out of 4 in Cincinnati. Good pitching in that series by Milwaukee. Man, Amir Garrett's walked 4 guys tonight.
He had walked 3 in his first 3 outings combined.
He had 4 walks, 1 strikeout. The only strikeout, Matt Garza in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, it was 7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio coming into the game. Although in the minor leagues he did have control issues, but certainly straightened it out in his first 3 starts with the big club. 2-0 to Braun. You could see where Garrett would be start getting as careful as he could possibly be, giving up a couple of home runs to Thames, a 3-run bomb to Hernan Perez. Perez has driven in 4 so far tonight. And the hitters count for the left fielder. Braun has homered 37 times in his career against Cincinnati. And he shoots one up the middle, a base hit. That's actually going to head to the gap. It's going to roll to the wall. Here's Thames motoring around third. Eddie Cedar waves him in. Relay to the plate. Not in time. Braun delivers, and it's 9-4 Milwaukee.
Like, that ball was scalded. I mean, a 3-1 fastball. Ryan waiting for it, and you can't hit a ball any harder than this. This ball is just smoked out there into the gap out in right center or left center, and well, just such an easy swing. And you wonder how long Brian Price is going to stick with Garrett. I mean, he has given up 9 runs, just killing his earned run average, but that ball is just hammered out there in the center field. And Eric Thames, not just a power hitter, he can run all the way from first base.
Oh, Santana with a ball. Nice stop by Votto at first, and the feed to Garrett for the out. First out of the inning as Braun moves to third. That was a tough play by Votto for the first out. And there's the definition of how to bust an ERA. There's 1.83 coming in. And that's changing. 8 of the 9 runs he allowed tonight, are earned.
And a lot of managers, you know, wouldn't leave their guy out there giving up 9 earned runs or 9 runs. Apparently the bullpen's in a position where they need some innings.
Yeah, they have pitched a ton. In fact, Red starters have worked the fewest innings in the National League. On average, the starting rotation struggles to get to 5 innings. Garrett was the clear exception coming into this game. Might be a case you're just kind of taking one for the ball club right now.
And he is too. He's wearing it out there. Brewers have hit him hard tonight.
Two balls, no strikes to Manny Pena, who in the first inning extended his hitting streak to 10 games.
You know, it's a psychological thing, though, for a young kid like this, 24 years old. I mean, he's been really pitching well, and all of a sudden now he's giving up 9 runs. His earned run average near 5, and you wonder how that's going to affect his psyche going forward. That's the other thing you have to think about when you're to consider this guy one of the pitchers of the future for you. A lot of times you don't want to do this to him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Great point. Reds have the infield in with Braun the runner at third. Brewers, after getting runs via the homer in the first couple of innings, not relying on the homer, scoring a couple in the third and 1 so far in the fourth. 2-2 pitch to Pena. But the Reds do have some activity going on in their pen. Full count now to the Brewers catcher. Braun the runner at third. Pena through a drawn-in infield, a base hit to left. Braun jogs home, and the Reds, or the Brewers rather, now lead it 10-4.
Yeah, breaking ball from Garrett, and we talked about the 2-0 strike approach for Manny Pena. Finally, here comes Brian Price. There's a breaking pitch. It's down. It's over the plate. And with a drawn-in infield, Kozar just can't get there. So a 10-run game for Amir Garrett. And Pena with his second hit.
One-game hitting streak and nearing the 500 mark by way of batting average. Pitching change at Miller Park as the Brewers pounding away, leading the Reds 10-4. He's already been down the slide 3 times here tonight. Brewers just battering Reds pitching, and a rough night for Amir Garrett, a left-handed rookie putting together a good start to his big league career, but tonight it blows up on him.
Yeah, he had to wear one tonight. Apparently the bullpen has been worked pretty hard. Now you get a guy making his major league debut, got called up today from Double-A Pensacola.
Ariel Hernandez from the Dominican Republic. Well, the Giants organization pitched some independent ball, and yet another Red making his big league debut here in 2017. They've had more than half a dozen of them. First pitch swinging. Perez a flip, a 4-6-3 attempt at a double play, and they won't get it. They'll just get 4-6. I'll spit it out as they erase Pena for out number 2.
2/3 of it.
Yeah. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. And here's Keon Broxton. Facing Ariel Hernandez. Look on him, pretty good fastball. They are impressed with the curveball that he possesses, but you know, as just said, he can get up there mid to upper 90s, and he is 98s.
Yeah, he does have a good curveball, but coming up from Double-A into the big leagues, that's a big jump.
Perez is running. Broxton a swing and a miss. Perez has second easily. First of the year for Hernan Perez. No, it's a cliche, but in a game like this, hard to say any lead is safe. And it's still early in the 4th inning.
Yeah, those rules really don't apply much this early in the game anymore.
No, they don't. 0-2 pitch to Broxton. It's a power curve that they say Hernandez has. Rule 5 selection from the Diamondbacks organization. Hernandez ready with a 1-2. Back to the Heat at 99. Brewers have scored twice in each of the last 3 innings after putting 4 on the board in the first. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Brewers center fielder. That curve catches Broxton looking, and the inning is over. But the Brewers put a couple of more on the board here as more offense from the home team. As you see, Eric Thames, Hernan Perez, Ryan Braun scorching one, and the Brewers lead by 6 after 4. Cannot beat that at the ballpark. Young man, if this is your first Brewers game, I'm thinking you're liking it here so far. 10-4. Brewers lead the Reds. We move to the top of the 5th. That's awesome.
Not shy either, is he?
No, he's not. Loves the camera.
Nice.
Hey, Brewers fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app, take Fox Sports Wisconsin, and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. Well, the night is done for Matt Garza as he gives way to Yan Marinez.
And 9th appearance, he's 0-2, 415 the earned run average. He's given up the 1 home run. He pitched in yesterday's ball game, 2/3 scoreless, and stranded an inherited runner in the 6th inning against the Cardinals.
He will face Joey Votto here in the 5th inning. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks for Votto here tonight. Yeah, Marinez picked up Jimmy Nelson yesterday.
I've got a couple of ground ball outs.
Yeah, he pitched well, as did Brent Suter. Suter now back with the AAA Colorado Springs. Cardinals yesterday got a couple of big runs off of Jared Hughes in the 8th inning, and that proved to loom very large as the Crew down 6-2 in the 9th. Chipped away, got a Pena homer, pushed another run across, had the tying run on, but fell a couple of runs short, couple of feet short really. Braun sent one to the warning track to win the game, and Votto strikes out swinging to begin the 5th.
Man, good breaking ball back to back. He doubled up on it. First one caught the outside corner. This last one down and in. Good job getting Joey Votto. Down and out of the strike zone. That's where you want it with 2 strikes.
Good start for Marinez now as he faces Adam Duvall. Struck out and popped out. Reds took advantage of a Brewers error to put 3 on the board in the 3rd inning on the Scott Schebler home run, but quite honestly, the Reds to this point, they missed a couple of chances. Garza was able to get out of some trouble in the 1st inning. Worked through a scoreless 4th. In fact, Garza in his final inning of work retired the Reds in order. And Matt got a lot of help from his teammates. Garza, to his credit, also had an RBI single in the game. 2 balls, no strikes to Adam Duvall. Brewers bullpen that by and large has performed very well. Yes, a couple have gotten away, but the body of work has been pretty solid, and more than solid when you look at that back end with what Jacob Barnes and Corey Knebel and Neftali Feliz have been able to do. In fact, Barnes has yet to be scored upon. They just kind of figure it out. Different cast of characters.
It's all about matchups. As you know, Craig Counsell likes to match certain relievers in certain innings with certain hitters coming up.
Duvall with a fly ball hit back into deep right field. Santana at the track for out number 2.
Well, tonight's Tavern of the Game winner, Mill Creek Blues in Appleton, if they call the Brewers, by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite beer pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
By the way, your voice sounds pretty close to 100% now. You battled through and you were always able to get in the Tavern of the Game.
Right.
But now it's with that rock authority that we're used to.
Yeah.
You know,
with the
little punch in there.
Yeah. It's tough to do this job when you can't talk.
It is a challenge, yes.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, it has. Yeah. I had been a while, knock on wood. Although, you know, after Sophia battled it, you battled it, I guess I'm drinking a lot of tea, you know, trying to take care of myself here. But yes, it has happened. Struggling once, and then a buzzer beater. I got a little animated. Post-game show was not one for the archives.
Kind of ripped up the vocal cords a little bit.
Kind of sounded like this. Yeah, it was a little.
Great shot, young man.
Well, it was worth it, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, it was kind of fun. Eugenio Suarez at the plate. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Marinez. Brewers pitching, trying to get into a groove here. Garza put him up and down in the 4th. Marinez trying to do the same here in inning number 5. Suarez reached at an error in the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss again. Marinez not messing around.
Yeah, 96. Pretty much right down the middle. I mean, not pretty much. That was right down the middle.
Two balls, 2 strikes to the Reds' 3rd baseman. Marinez, another one of those acquisitions under general manager David Stearns that probably has had a lot of people at the time saying, who is Jan Marinez coming over from Tampa Bay and solid last year.
Yeah, good arm. The guy never was able to throw strikes, but Derek Johnson got a hold of him and got some confidence, and here he is. He's been very good for the Brewers.
2-2 pitch. Full count now to Suarez. On base percentage .446 for the Reds' 3rd baseman. Here's a payoff. Strikeout of Votto, a fly ball from Duvall here for the Reds in inning number 5. Brewers with those 10 runs, they have been efficient. 10 runs on 8 hits. And Marinez loading up, getting set for the 3-2 pitch again. Hit sharply, but right into the shift. Nice stop by VR. Inning over. Defense positioned perfectly. VR takes one away, and the Brewers maintain a 6-run lead. To the home half of the 5th inning. Let's check out our minor league report. We've talked about this young outfield the Brewers have. It includes Ryan Cordell. How about that day at the expense of the Nashville Sounds? 4 for 4, a homer, hitting .305 to begin the season for the Sky Sox of Colorado Springs. Part of that terrific outfield out there with Brett Phillips and Lewis Brinson.
Yeah, he can hit, throw, and run. That good speed. Another big kid that the Brewers have in the outfield in the minor leagues.
It's Kirk Neuenhuis joining that team. He'll get his at-bats, but as Craig Counsell talked about today, they're not going to stunt the growth of those young outfielders out there. As you see what Brinson has done. Brinson had a big day a few days ago, had a 4 for 6. And Brett Phillips, who struggled last year in Double-A with Biloxi, struggled at the plate, but you see he's off to a very good start. With a .283 average, that is some serious talent. Part of that outfield is Arcia with a ground ball over to third. That's a Eugenio Suarez for out number 1.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun watching those guys in spring training. We saw a lot of them. They played a lot. Always good to be able to, put your eyeballs on a prospect that you hear so much about. We heard a lot about these guys last year, and you get out to spring training, you watch them. And a lot of good players they have.
John Marinez,
middle infielders, and they had that Lucas Herzig had a great spring.
Yeah,
got a nice swing.
Boy, Mauricio Dubon, too, who came over in the Thornburg trade along with Shaw from the Red Sox. He turned in a couple of highlight reel plays in spring training. And the talent is everywhere. Corey Ray with Carolina, and people wondering how that wheel was going to be after the knee surgery. His first at bat, he triples.
Yeah,
so
good test.
0-2 the count to Jan Marinez. What really catches my attention with this, just looking at the stats, so we get the minor league report here every day, and it's just kind of fun to take a look to see how a lot of these young guys are doing. But with the Sky Sox, the staff ERA is 3.11, and they're not playing all their games on the road. They've had some home games, and a lot's been written and said about the conditions in Colorado Springs. With this pitching staff with Josh Hader and Brandon Woodruff, a couple of starters with very impressive ERAs. It's encouraging.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Marinez, a swing and a miss. Ariel Hernandez making his big league debut There's 2 outs here in the 5th.
And you just hope that the Brewers are going to be in a position where they don't have to rush him up here.
Right.
You know, let him have some success down in the minor leagues. I mean, they'd bring him up if they needed, you know, them. And, you know, Josh Hader, everybody talks about, and everybody's anxious to see at the big league level, see what he can do. But give him some time. Need some time to kind of figure it all out.
Here's Jonathan Villar with 2 outs and the base is empty.
And I say, you know, hope they don't have to rush him up, meaning that you hope there's no injuries that creates that situation for Milwaukee.
Yeah, when Nieuwenhuis, when they made the move, I think there might have been some fans assuming that there would be a call up of one of those outfielders, but Hernan Perez is a guy on the 25-man now who could play center field if need be. And about this time last year, the conversation was accelerating about when would we see Orlando Arcia, and you know, David Stearns has talked about it. You want to get these guys, you want to have them all have decent sample sizes as they move through the minor league system. Still just in the month of April. A ball, 2 strikes to Jonathan Villar.
A big difference, you know, when you talk about outfielders down in the minor leagues coming up. Brewers are pretty happy with the outfielders they have right now. I mean, young guys, Broxton, Santana, all have a lot of upside. Got to be patient. Let them figure it out.
2-2 pitch. Villar hanging tough. And that left fielder's not half bad. Ryan Braun.
I didn't think I even had to mention him.
You really didn't.
You know, I mean, that's assumed.
Roxy could be fun to watch, trying to get that bat going, and a weekend of some encouraging signs for him at the plate. Villar a swing and a miss, and Ariel Hernandez looking impressive in his big league debut. We are through 5, 10-4 Brew Crew. Top half of the 6th at Miller Park. The Brewers Community Foundation is hosting a drive for charity at Miller Park this Friday through Sunday. For your donation of full-size toiletry items or a $5 contribution, you'll get a one-of-a-kind player pin. Thank you for your support. Monday night crowd at the ballpark, and they have seen a ton of offense. We got our first scoreless inning of the night. Brewers putting runs up each of the first 4. Scott Schebler leading things off and lines one to left, and Braun is there for out number 1.
Well, he's swinging it, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's coming out of that slump is Schebler, who homered in the 3rd and squared up on that one, but Braun was there.
Yeah, line drive rated in outfield is sometimes, especially when it's slicing, can give you problems. But yeah, no issue for Brawny. He's seen it before.
Second inning of work for Yan Marinez, and now Zach Cozart, the hitter. Brewers trying to get him out for the first time tonight. He has tripled and walked. As you see from those numbers, he's been tough to get out for everybody so far in this month of April.
Sometimes it takes a while to develop into a good big league hitter. Cozart's been around a while and just starting to come into his own last couple of years.
He's battled some injuries, including a couple of years ago, a season-ending injury, not quite midway through the season. Now 3 balls, no strikes to the Red shortstop. Sat out yesterday's game. Sore left wrist. That one sails to the backstop. Cozart, a leadoff walk. So you want to hit in the big leagues. Hello.
Come on, Matty, you got to catch that.
One out, one on. Marinez now will work against Stuart Turner. Trying to throw some strikes here. You're up 6 in the 7th inning at the bottom of the order. Marinez retired the Reds in order in the 5th.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to let the pitcher go up there and hit Hernandez. Hernandez sitting on the on-deck circle.
Brian Price trying to save that bullpen as much as he can. Council would like to get some good work out of Marinez. Matt Garza worked the first 4, gave up 4 hits and the 4 runs the Reds have. A clean 5th for Yan Marinez. And that is hit into left center field, and that's a base hit. That's going to go to the wall. Cozart rounding third. He's going to score. And Stuart Turner with his second run scoring double of the game.
Well, fastball right down the middle, and looks like Craig Counsell wants to go out and have a chat with his right-hander. His activity on that bullpen, and he's seen enough from Marinez. And a fastball down the middle. He hit it hard out there into the gap. So the 1-out walk comes around to score.
Exit Marinez and enter Oliver Drake. 1 out, 1 on, 1 in, with the Brewers leading the Reds in the 6th, 10-5. with a run across. Stuart Turner an RBI double, so Marinez's night is done, and Oliver Drake now on for the Crew.
Yeah, 8th appearance for Drake with Milwaukee, and you can see he's got that 466 earned run average. Last pitched on Saturday against the Cardinals, gave up a couple of runs in an inning of work.
His first 4 appearances as a Brewer. He has worked multiple frames on 3 of those occasions, including his first outing as a Brewer against the Reds. A couple of innings. Ariel Hernandez will hit for himself, the reliever, after Amir Garrett started and struggled mightily.
Even a lot of the outs that he got were hit pretty hard. Talking about Amir Garrett.
And lasted just 3 1/3 tonight. Hernandez looking pretty good in his first big league appearance. And a bouncing ball to Thames. He'll take care of it himself. Out number 2.
Yeah, first appearance, first at bat. Getting a lot out of the way tonight.
There he is. Settled in now. Turner advancing to 3rd on the ground ball. Now back to the top of the order, and Billy Hamilton. A couple of fly balls his last 2 trips after a single to begin the game, went after the first pitch from Matt Garza. On base percentage of .275 for Hamilton.
Not opposed to bunting in these situations. Got to be alive.
1-strike pitch. Sails upstairs.
Yeah, they're in the corners just in case he decides to drop one down.
30-year-old Oliver Drake ready with a 1-1. Healthy cut. Ultra fast Billy Hamilton. Drake's first outing as a Brewer, we mentioned, against the Reds, and pitched well that night in Cincinnati on April 14th.
He's got that good split-fingered fastball. That'd be a good pitch right here. He just threw one. Wasn't able to get it over the plate.
Goes to it a ton. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Turner the runner at 3rd. And the count is full on Hamilton. A lot of game left. You do not want to see this team move the line here. The Reds have a run across in the 6th. Stuart Turner, a couple of RBI doubles, and Hamilton with a little bloop into foul territory, and Perez reaching near the Reds dugout to secure it. Nice play by Hernan Perez to end the inning. The Reds pick up a run. Hernan Perez. Good footwork near the Cincinnati dugout. 10-5 Brew Crew. 10-5. Brewers lead the Reds. Cincinnati getting a run in the 6th inning. But here's how the inning ended. Watch Hernan Perez make the catch and have a little fun. Get out of my way.
Yeah, didn't want to let it bounce. He kept the feet in bounds. Check it out. Yep, well, maybe not. You can go in the dugout after you catch a ball like that.
Right.
But if you go into the dugout and it's not the 3rd out, you can't throw it from the dugout. You got to go out of the dugout, establish the field again, and make a throw.
Nice play. Had a little fun with Eugenio Suarez. Here is Eric Thames. And there's a fly ball, left center field. Hamilton on the run, and he'll run it down for out number 1.
Yeah, a little bit on the end of the bat that time. And if it stays in the ballpark, pretty good chance that guy's going to catch it. He tells Duvall, just play center. I'm over here in left. Did you see him?
Yes.
Yeah, right on the end. It was a pretty good 2-seam fastball from Hernandez. And check out Billy Hamilton. He shaded toward right. Look how quickly he gets over there. Great jump. And makes that catch look easy.
Boy, he does take care of things out there in center field and beyond. Here is Jesus Aguilar now pinch hitting for Ryan Braun in the 6th inning.
I wonder what's up with that.
Yeah. I mentioned still a fair amount of game to go here. Interesting with all the Brewers who have homered, 12 of them. Aguilar, who had the monster spring training, has yet to go deep, but then again the playing time has been erratic. Certainly they could go to him, and Craig Counsell not afraid to at all. But Eric Thames with the big year, the big month.
Well, you're probably going to see Aguilar go to first base and then move Thames over to left.
Right. And we saw Aguilar at first yesterday. And Thames was out in right field. A ball, 2 strikes to Aguilar. Another inning of work for Ariel Hernandez as Aguilar goes down swinging, and that's the 2nd out of the inning.
This guy's something. He's got good stuff. A good slider, 87 to 88. A very quick breaking slider, and that fastball that we've seen at 99 tonight.
He has settled things down for Brian Price's team after the Reds erupted on Amir Garrett. There is Domingo Santana. He's worked a couple of walks so far in the game. All the runs off of Garrett in 3 1/3. 10 runs, 9 of which were earned. Ariel Hernandez out there ever since. And he's been hitting 100 a few times here tonight. And on the edge of it there, 1-1 the count.
100 miles an hour is not what it used to be, is it?
No, I
mean, it usually gets oohs and ahs from the crowd, but
yeah, it
just threw in 100.
Right, it gets your attention, but you're right. You don't hear the reaction that you used to. And of course, the Reds for a while had Aroldis Chapman.
The first time I remember doing games and somebody hit 100 was Billy Wagner in Houston.
Right. Really head turning stuff then.
Yeah. There's nobody did it. These kids can throw these days. They really have great arms.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Domingo Santana. A swing and a miss, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Hernandez, and we are through 6 at Miller Park. Series opener. Brewers up 10-5.
7th inning, and hey, Matty, step up your shirt game with the Crew's first free shirt Friday this season. This upcoming Friday, April 28th, the Brewers open up a 3-game set with the Braves, and the first 20,000 fans will get a long sleeve Brewers t-shirt. That's courtesy of Master Printwear.
I think this would fit, Rock. I think this works.
Go ahead, say it again.
Actually,
what would you do to get that?
You know, I'd pay for it. I'd pay for you. This is a double XL. I only need an XL.
Yeah.
You good with this one, big man? This probably fits you.
I could sneak into that.
I'll buy that for you. Lend me a couple dollars. That is sweet.
Oh, this is $10 if nothing else.
At least. Oh, that is nice.
Well done. Nice shirt.
Some changes here for the Brewers. We'll see Eric Thames out in left field. Jesus Aguilar came in to pinch hit for Ryan Braun, and Aguilar stays in the game, and he'll handle it over at first. And on the mound for the Crew is Carlos Torres.
Yeah, Torres pitched Saturday against the Cardinals and took a loss. Gave up a run in an inning of work. You remember that Diaz home run, that pinch hit home run, Aledmus Diaz. That was off Carlos. Overall, .450 earned run average, and this is 11th appearance.
Torres will face Jose Peraza, leading off the 7th inning for Cincinnati. Five runs, 5 hits for the Reds. Matt Garza working the first 4. Marinez an inning and a third. Oliver Drake finishing up the 6th inning. And Peraza will lift one into left center field. Long run. Keon Broxton has it tracked, and that's out number 1.
He fought that one a little bit, didn't he? That ball up in the air. Had to go back. Broxton playing a little bit more shallow these days. And going back, he certainly got the speed to be able to get back there. There you go.
Had it all the way.
Back in a holster.
Yeah, you mentioned that. We saw that a lot with Hamilton playing very shallow, and it was very noticeable in that first series between these two teams. A lot of speed. You can make up a lot of ground.
Yeah, a lot more base hits fall in front of an outfielder than over the head.
Here's Joey Votto. Foul tip evens the count, a ball, a strike. A quiet night for Votto. He has drawn a couple of walks, struck out in the 5th. Game is settled considerably after a ton of runs early. The Brewers scoring in each of the first 4. 4 in the first, and then a couple of runs in innings 2, 3, and 4 as Votto gets into one into right field. Santana will play it off the wall. Votto on his way to second, and that'll be his first hit of the game.
And Torres with a 4-seam fastball that time, and Joey Votto aggressive this time and hammers one out there in the right field. You can see not a whole lot of movement on it, right down the middle, and Votto puts a good swing on it over the head of Santana. So a 1-out double.
Still entirely too much game left to feel that comfortable. 10-5 lead for the Crew. Adam Duvall now the hitter.
In a close game, it's usually Barnes, Knebel, Phillies, but with a 5-run lead. Starting out with Torres to see if might not have to use his closer.
It would be nice if Counsell could be afforded that luxury. Votto a 1-out double, the runner at second. Had Adam Duvall has scuffled in a big way against Brewers pitching so far. Mentioned hitless tonight at a tough series in Cincinnati against the Brew Crew. Here's the 1-1. Duvall 0 for 14 so far against the Crew. Torres trying to keep that little stretch going. Keeping Votto honest.
Had a little panic in the step, didn't he, Joey Votto? He thought maybe somebody was there.
And no one close. Well, the Cardinals had a good weekend, obviously, overall, but they ran themselves out of some innings. The guys picked off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First of 3 between these two clubs. Back at it again tomorrow night. And the 2-2. These hitters have a way of extending at bats. We talked a lot about it at Wrigley Field. The Brewers, there are certainly a number of hitters capable of doing the same thing. They really make these pitchers work.
Yeah, especially, Carlos with that cut fastball. It's really not going down a whole lot. Staying on the same plane gives a hitter an opportunity just to get a piece of it. That's a little bit different. That was better.
Pena keeps it in front of him as Votto holds at second.
That was more the slider, though, than the cutter.
And a full count now to Adam Duvall. Eugenio Suarez is on deck. Dangerous hitters rolling in there for Cincinnati in the 7th inning. And this is hit in the air. Out of the outfield grass is Jonathan Villar. And that's out number 2.
Yeah, with a 5-run lead, don't want to be walking batters. So Carlos able to throw the strike on the full count, and got a pop up. Last year, first half, Adam Duvall would have hit that one. Might have found a gap or hit it out of the ballpark. But he's just not seeing it well right now.
Yeah, he had 23 homers in the first half of the season last year. Here's Eugenio Suarez. Reached on an error in the 3rd. It extended the inning, and the Reds took advantage with the Scott Schebler home run. It's been the big inning so far for the Reds. It was off of Matt Garza. The good news for Garza, the Brewers staked him a big lead early. Well, the bullpen trying to make that hold up. A ball, a strike to Eugenio Suarez. Votto standing at second. He's doubled the 6th hit of the night for the Reds as Suarez is swing and a miss. Big start at the plate this season for Suarez. Torres trying to keep him hitless tonight. Ahead of the count, 1-2. Fly ball to right. Santana toward the line. Lots of room. Inning over. A double, but no harm done. Stretch time at Miller Park. Brew Crew leading at 10-5. Miller Park. Just checking in. Let's get you caught up. Tonight's game summary. You need to get here on time because here's Eric Thames of the first inning. A rude greeting to Amir Garrett. That got the crew started. A 3-run bomb in the first from Hernan Perez off the bottom of the scoreboard. And then Thames goes opposite field his second at bat. As Eric Thames continues to hammer Reds pitching. Check out what Eric Thames has done in his first month as a Milwaukee Brewer. Check it out. Matching El Caballo with the 10 bombs in the month of April. The runs scored. A couple of very familiar names, Ricky Weeks and of course the Hall of Famer Paul Molitor. And there's still a fair amount of April left.
I was just getting ready to say, I mean, this is game number 21. And he's got 23 runs scored.
Yeah, that is not half bad. Here's Drew Storen now on in relief for Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's been real good. A former closer with the Nationals.
And he'll face Manny Pena to begin the bottom half of the 7th. Good night again at the plate for Pena. Couple of singles. He has driven in a run. Storen was very effective, has been as a closer for the Nationals. Had 43 saves back in the 2011 season. 29 saves just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, doesn't have the big fastball anymore, but he's got that slider to go to. I will say this. Everybody was talking about Amir Garrett today and the kind of stuff how about Ariel Hernandez, that stuff he was featuring tonight?
Yeah, that was impressive.
I mean, 5 punch outs and 2 1/3.
Yeah, he gave up nothing.
And a good slider to go with that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. This is a guy that was in Double-A.
Yeah, he's the one from this Brewers perspective. I think you walk away going, wow,
yeah,
this guy's got something you can work with if you're Brian Price. And certainly Garrett was off to a great start, but the Brewers just tore into him in this game. 1-2 pitch coming to Pena, and that just locked him up for out number 1.
And a big sweeping breaking pitch right there from Drew Storen.
Well, we've talked about Eric Thames and his night, which has been very good. How about this as we check out At the Plate presented by Wendy's? Hernan Perez, first couple of strokes, got him 4 RBIs, a 3-run homer in the first, RBI double in the 3rd inning. Driven in 4, also has a stolen base tonight and a couple of impressive plays at 3rd.
Guy can hit. That's all you got to say. Stays on the ball nicely. Home run double, both on the first pitch that he saw.
That home run was hammered deep into center field. There's a roller over to Cozart. 2 up, 2 down in the 7th.
Hey, RBI Baseball 2017 returns with fast-paced pick-up and play action. Packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, and ballparks. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at RBIGame.com.
2 men out, bases empty.
That was a new one.
You had that look on your face there.
Yeah, I looked at it and said, I've never seen this one before. I thought I was going to do the MLB.com at bat read.
That's right. That would have been. I think I covered for you a time or two as you were working your voice back. So that might have been the first. I have done that one a couple times. Yeah.
It's amazing I wasn't paying attention.
Did you say something?
Hey.
I'm slowly but surely getting used to the relaxed atmosphere of a baseball broadcast booth. You know,
Yeah.
just gotta exhale.
Try and have fun.
That's right.
The national pastime, right? Just
That's
kind of
right.
pull up a chair like Vince Scully used to say and check it out.
That's right. Sit back, relax. 1-2 the count to Keon Broxton. Broxton reaches out trying to send one into right field, but on the run is Schebler. He'll run it down, and it's a 1-2-3 inning here for the Brewers. We move to the 8th with the Brew Crew leading the Reds 10-5. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Good Monday night at the ballpark here so far for the Brewers as they lead the Reds 10-5. Move to the top of the 8th here in Milwaukee. First to 3 between these two clubs as they meet for the second time. Crew taking 3 out of 4 in Cincinnati. And now Corey Knebel comes in for the Brew Crew as he finally gets some work. Has not appeared since last Wednesday at Wrigley Field, but Counsell getting him some work here tonight. In that game, that last outing for Corey, he gave up a run against the Cubs. That's the first time that Knebel has been scored upon this season.
Yeah, a lot of work, and I think the time off is going to do him good. Boy, that curveball's been a very good pitch for him so far this year, throwing strikes. Yeah, Barnes, Knebel, Phillies worked a lot on that last road trip. And that's a good thing. That means the Brewers are winning games.
And that's the setup you want now. As a Brewers fan, Knebel getting some work with his team up 5, and he starts Scott Schebler with a fastball for strike 1. One of those hard throwers, mid-90s with that power curve. Schebler a 3-run homer tonight. There's the curve, and quickly it's 0-2. And that is quick work. A blow-by fastball for out number 1.
Yeah, it looked like Manny Pena wanted it upstairs. He put it up and in. 3 pitches and a strikeout to a very hot hitter in Scott Schebler.
Let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. Tomorrow's matchup, Zach Davies on the mound for the Crew and Scott Feldman for Cincinnati. Things started again 6 o'clock tomorrow night right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. These early games early in the week here at Miller Park. The 6:40 first pitch.
Yeah. You like them?
You know, I do. I think gives fans a fighting chance maybe to work tomorrow. There's Zach Cozart. Man, is he off to a start this season, and he continues to hit Brewers pitching. He has tripled, and now he doubles here in the 8th inning.
On a big fastball that's in on him, 96 miles an hour. Let's talk about buggy whipping a fastball right here. That's an old Jim Gantner term. Able to pull the hands in and barrel it up right down the line for a 1-out double. The Reds just continue to knock on the door in just about every inning.
Yeah, they do. You just can't feel comfortable against his team.
Yeah.
There's Stuart Turner, a couple of RBI doubles. The Reds' backup catcher tonight. Yeah, those earlier start times, and we've had some good shots of very young fans here at the ballpark. You know, it's still a school night, so
I like it.
Yeah, chance to get home and get yourself ready for the next day. Try to do all you can to make it an enjoyable night at the ballpark here at Miller Park. Enjoyable to this point. Now we'll see if the Brewers can finish this one off. Up 5 in the 8th inning. Reds with 7 hits. The Brewers with 8 hits. 10 runs for Council's team. All coming in the first 4 innings. And now Knebel falls behind 3-0. Struck out Scott Schebler to begin this inning. Kozar to double. Three and 1 the count. Former Brewer on deck. Scooter Gennett is waiting. 3 and 1 the count. Stuart Turner. And the Reds have him at first and second with 1 out in the 8th.
And just trying to move that line. I mean, being patient at the plate. Pretty good pitch by Corey Knebel, but just missed a little bit low.
Well, Scooter Gennett now will pinch hit. Homecoming for Scooter. It's a nice welcome home from this Miller Park crowd.
Had a good year last year. He's there about 5 years.
He hurt the Brewers in the series in Cincinnati. Had 3 hits, drove in a couple of runs. Born in Cincinnati, he very much enjoyed his time here in Milwaukee, but if it wasn't going to work out, it's kind of a dream come true for Gennett to play for the Reds. And he has given Price some pretty good numbers, as you see. 1-0 the count. Ground ball would be nice here if Knebel can get it. Five-run game, yes, but a significant matchup here. Lineup turns over. Hamilton is on deck.
Yeah, with the way the Reds can bang, I mean, they're always in the game.
One pitch coming to Scooter Gennett. There's a bouncing ball that is foul over at first.
Scooter's always been a pretty good fastball hitter. Knebel starts him with 3 straight curveballs. Well, maybe get him to chase one upstairs, a fastball.
You see the average for Gennett. He is 0 for 5 in a pinch hitting role. Now let's see if Knebel can put him away. The 1-2. There it is. He put him away. Fastball takes care of Gennett for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yep, the curveball slow the bat down. Then you go upstairs with a big fastball at 95 and throw it right by him. This game's easy, isn't it?
If only it was that easy.
I think that Manny wanted that pitch up a little further than that, but Knebel got away with it.
2 outs, 2 on in the 8th as Knebel works against Billy Hamilton. Trying to keep this lead at 5 here for the Brewers. Hamilton singled in the game's first pitch. He has since flied to left twice, and a foul pop that ended the 6th inning. Cozart the runner at second. Turner at first. Here comes the 2-0. Big cut from Hamilton. 96 on the offering from Knebel.
Man, 96 up in the zone. Awfully difficult to center on.
Jose Peraza on deck. Knebel trying to end this top half of the inning right now. In a danger zone, 3-1. They'll need this game to start getting interesting here. It's been just fine the way it is. 3-1 pitch, and now a full count.
I'm surprised that Billy Hamilton would swing at that. A 3-1 pitch. Reds need base runners, and Knebel threw him a good pitch on the inside corner.
Runners will be on the move. And Knebel gets a sign he likes. Here's the 3-2. Fly ball to left. That's Eric Thames. Long run, and cannot get it. Thames out there in left is Jesus Aguilar pinch hit for Braun in the 6th, and Thames moving out there.
That's a lot more running than he does at first base. Good effort, but yeah, had a lot to deal with over there. The tarp, the railing.
So Hamilton's still in there. Runners again will be on the move. Payoff pitch from Knebel. And the bases are loaded. A little trouble here in the 8th inning. A couple of walks given up by Knebel. And that'll prompt a visit from Derek Johnson.
A couple of walks in the inning, and it's exactly what the Reds are looking for, base runners. You got Peraza, but you got real problems on deck.
You got Votto and Duvall. Yeah, Votto's next, so end it here. Brewers getting off to a big time start. Now trying to keep a little distance between themselves and the Reds. Limited sample size, as you would imagine, for these Reds hitters against Knebel. And here's Peraza with the bases loaded. Hitless in 4 at-bats tonight. The curve is away for ball 1. 2 walks, a double from Cozart. The Reds have him loaded up.
And now he's in a fastball situation, and Peraza knows it.
The 1-0. And that is back up the middle, and that's a base hit. Cozart is in, brakes applied, station to station. 4-run game, but the tying run now comes to the plate. RBI single for Jose Peraza.
Well, now you got Joey Votto, and this is when he gets real aggressive. This is ordinarily the point in the game where he represents the tying run, and he might attack the first pitch. Fastball situation, Peraza knew it, and he banged it right back through the middle.
Big trouble here for Knebel. The Reds have the bases loaded, a run in. Votto has a team best 15 RBIs, steps to the plate. Curve for strike one. Votto has faced Knebel just 3 times, has a hit against him. One strike pitch. The curve misses up and away. Let's see what he has done with the bases full. 3rd chance for him this year. He has homered 6 times, has driven in 15. Walked twice, struck out, and doubled so far this evening. 98 miles an hour, but misses outside. Just not going to be easy.
No, it never is.
Huge matchup right here. Knebel against Joey Votto. The 2-1. Big swing and a miss. Howard one past him.
And here it is, hit it. Up in the zone. Right underneath.
Votto trying to tie up this game. There are your runners. Turner, Hamilton, and Peraza. 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, respectively. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Knebel versus Joey Votto. Here it comes. One tough out, batting average notwithstanding. Everybody knows how good Votto is, how patient he can be,
especially in spots like this.
He has had big numbers against the Brew Crew. He has been warming up here of late, the last week and a half. The 2-2. Back up the middle. Arcia right there, positioned perfectly, and the side is retired. Reds get a run, but Knebel leaves them loaded. 10-6 Brewers in the 8th.
This is the network to be on. 10-6 Milwaukee leads Cincinnati. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And if you like Eric Thames' offense, Davey, he is our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Now 1 home run, but 2 home runs tonight.
Oh, I tell you what, he is just swinging the bat so well. As you've seen, take that pitch on the inside and drive it out to right center field. And then watch this out here. slider up and away, takes it the other way. He's got power to all fields. Boy, I just love this guy's swing.
7 home runs this year against Cincinnati. He will take those totals 10 in all. We'll be talking about Thames on Brewers Live presented by Ascension coming up. Also, Hernan Perez has had a big night at the plate for Craig Counsell. We'll hear from the skipper. Full post-game reaction. Augie on the field after the ball game, guys.
All right, Craig Davey, thank you very much. Orlando Arcia leading off here for the Brewers in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the new pitcher for Cincinnati is Michael Lorenzen. He follows Drew Storen. And he takes one off his arm, it looked like, and it goes into center field, a base hit. Big turn from Arcia. Wow, that was a hard shot off the Reds reliever and still went into right. A base hit for Arcia.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a look at him. I mean, that was a bullet off the bat of Arcia. Check it out. Let's see where it gets him. Did it hit the glove or the shoulder? Let's see.
Off the side, maybe.
Even in slow motion, you can't really see where it hit him. That's how hard that ball was hit. Yeah. Yeah, wasn't able to get the glove up in time, and you know, that's the side, the throwing side. It's good to create some problems. Lorenzen's saying he's okay.
And we'll see if manager Brian Price, the Reds athletic trainer, will go along with what Lorenzen is telling him.
Well, they're saying, I guess the trainer's saying, what's the difference? You know, let's not take any chances. Why don't you come on out? Lorenzen wants to stay in.
And they're going to let him test it. That was a rocket from Arcia. And he's trying to sell it that he's good to go. And the athletic trainer will buy it. Well, Lorenzen hangs in there. Well, Lorenzen made his big league debut a couple of Aprils ago against the Brewers. Was a starting pitcher. Works out of the pen and gave up that bomb to Anthony Rizzo in the 9th inning Friday night. Here's Nick Franklin.
That'd be nice to get a couple here.
Yeah, it would. Brewers up 4. Reds had a run across in the 8th. Corey Knebel able to wiggle out of further trouble. The bases loaded. And a ground ball to win the inning. You go back to that first series. Franklin delivered with the big triple. 2-run triple and a Brewers win. 1 of 3 they had in that series against the Reds. Franklin down 0-2. Lorenzen at 97. He'll get you mid to upper 90s with his fastball.
Well, he used that fastball quite a bit. He very rarely throws anything else.
0-2 shattered the bat, and that is a foul ball, they say at third. Just missed.
And not reviewable. You can't go and ask for a review when they play in front of the umpire. That one didn't miss by much.
Franklin with a bid for extra bases.
Boy, barely. I mean, the ball bounces in front of the bag. It doesn't have to bounce in fair territory beyond the bag. Greg Gibson adamant in his call. Ed Cedar questioned him.
Count holds 2 strikes and nothing to Nick Franklin. Facing Michael Lorenzen. First round pick in the draft 4 years ago was Lorenzen. A late time called there.
Umpire doesn't have to give timeout. Franklin tapping the chest saying that was me, but it was actually the umpire that calls the timeout. He doesn't.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Now Turner.
Now everybody's settled back in. 0-2 pitch. And that bounces up there, gets by Turner, and Arcia moves on to second.
That's one of the rare breaking pitches for Lorenzen, and he spikes it. That didn't miss Franklin by too much. I thought maybe it hit his foot.
A wild pitch allows Arcia to get to second.
Yep, missed him.
It's bounced right in front of that right foot of Nick Franklin. A ball, 2 strikes to the Brewers pinch hitter. Lorenzen working strictly out of the bullpen, which was the case for him last year. When he first came up, he started 21 times. Turned in solid work last year out of the bullpen, a .288 earned run average. Arcia, the runner at second. And that bounces up there on strike 3, but Franklin's going to get on base as that goes all the way to the screen. And the Brewers have runners at the corners with nobody out.
That'll be a strikeout and a wild pitch. Another breaking ball that Lorenzen just can't reach home plate. And now you get the top of the order. Check it out. Not a real good effort by Turner trying to backhand it. You know a breaking ball's coming. You got to block it. Tried to backhand it. Went to the screen. See Sam Holbrook telling Franklin that he went to get to first base.
So here's Jonathan Villar. Trying to extend this hitting streak he has going. He has hit safely in each of the last 5 games. Reds have the infield in. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to get another run or 2 in.
Yeah.
It's been that kind of a game. Villar working a walk in the 2nd inning, came around the score. At 98, Lorenzen evens the count. Well, Lorenzen got roughed up on Friday against the Cubs. Brewers trying to get to him here on this Monday night at Miller Park. .250 on base percentage for Villar, showing some positive signs here in recent days. See if he can reach here and drive in a run. 2-1 pitch.
Yeah, Reds have the infield in, knowing they can't fall behind any further. Plus, it's difficult anyway to double up Villar.
And the big man on deck. He was homered twice tonight. And a full count now to Jonathan Villar. Well, good chance here for the Brewers to pop this one open. Arcia base hit. Danced on a wild pitch. Franklin reaching. Struck out, but a wild pitch. Franklin aboard. And Lorenzen ready with a payoff to Jonathan Villar. Franklin running and a foul ball.
Yeah, first time Lorenzen was able to throw a breaking ball for a strike. And Villar able to foul it off.
Ten RBIs so far this month for Jonathan Villar. Lorenzen again ready with the 3-2 pitch. Franklin running and yet another foul ball. Extended at bat here from the Brewers second baseman. He's homered 3 times. Trying to punch one through this drawn in infield. Pitch number 8 of the at bat. Franklin again running and a ground ball snagged by Cozart. The play will be at first. First out of the inning. Well, that's a good play by Zach Cozart. Infield was in. Out number 1. Runners now at second and third.
Yeah, good reactions. And the infield in like that. That's a tough break for Villar. He hit it hard. Franklin on the move. I was surprised he didn't take off before that, because there's no way they're going to throw him out with the infield in like that.
The old no pitch intentional walk to Eric Thames. Let's check out the Powerball home run leaderboard. Thames with 2 home runs tonight. Lorenzen and the Reds weren't going to give him a chance for number 11. Ryan Braun was 6. Travis Shaw on the lineup tonight. He has 5. Jet Bandy also not in the lineup. He has 4. Brewers distributing the power. Now your turn, Jesus Aguilar. Bases are loaded with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. And Lorenzen pours one in there. Came in as a pinch hitter for Ryan Braun in the 6th inning. And there's a bouncing ball. Votto goes through him. Peraza there. They'll get the play at first, but a run will score.
Yeah, they would have had the out at home plate. Sorry, would have had the out at home plate easily. Joey Votto thinking about the throw before he had it in the glove, but that's a good job by Lorenzen not giving up on it. He's able to cover first for the out. But the Brewers able to get that run back that they gave up in the top of the inning.
You're right. Votto was looking to bring it home.
Yeah. Aguilar gets jammed. That's our Badger Mutual Insurance run. Orlando Arcia crossing home plate. Run number 11.
And back to a 5-run lead here for the Brewers. Here's Domingo Santana. There's Santana's night. RBI chance here with runners at second and third with 2 men out. Nothing easy for the pitchers on either side here tonight, with the exception of Ariel Hernandez, who was very good for Cincinnati. But the Brewers battered the Red starter Amir Garrett. Carlos Torres a scoreless inning. Oliver Drake, Jan Marinez all picking up Matt Garza, who worked the first 4. 2-1 pitch. And Lorenzen laboring through the 8th for Cincinnati. Brewers beat him up on April 14th. Lorenzen with 4 runs in 1 inning of work. Brewers have 1 against him here tonight in the 8th. And a bouncing ball. Cozart waits for the hop, and the throw over to first is in time to win the inning. But the Crew picks up another run as we move to the 9th inning, and a chance for Jacob Barnes to put an end to it, with the Crew leading the Reds 11-6. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Well, the Brewers bringing out the big man bats in the early going tonight, and now leading the Reds 11-6 as we move to the 9th inning here at Miller Park. And now Jacob Barnes looking to put this game away and give the Crew win number 10.
Yeah, picked up his first save of the year. That was Thursday against the Cardinals. His second career save, a scoreless 9th inning. Has yet to give up a run this year. That slider, their cut fastball, has been virtually unhittable. Outstanding work out of Barnes so far.
He will face Adam Duvall to lead off the 9th. As Duvall's struggles continuing, and 0 for 4. A couple of pop-ups, a fly ball, and a strikeout from the Cincinnati left fielder. '99 from Barnes right there. Well, Brewers trying to beat Cincinnati for what would be the 4th time in the first 5 meetings between these two clubs. Duvall with a fly ball, right center field. Broxton, Santana. It'll be Broxton for out number 1. Covering everything out there.
Yep, I got it. If I can reach it, I'm catching it. Get out of the way.
Having fun. Good for him. Fun night for these Brewers bats. Here's Eugenio Suarez. He is hitless tonight. Well, Brewers trying to push their record to 10-11. If the lead holds for the Crew, the Reds would be 10 up and 10 down.
It's part of the order that's been doing most of the damage after Suarez. It's been the 6 on down, really.
Yeah, Scott Schebler, a 3-run homer. Cozart. Brewers haven't gotten him out yet. And there's a bouncing ball snapped up by Arcia, and the throw gets by Aguilar, and that moves Suarez to second. Orlando Arcia had the errorless streak end earlier tonight, and he has just committed his second error of the evening.
Yeah, they didn't have to be so quick with the throw. I know Suarez runs decent. I mean, he's not a base burner by any stretch of the imagination. Kind of got the ball down. Tough play for Aguilar, and that in between hop is a difficult one. That's going to be an E6. Second one tonight.
A 4-error night for the Brewers. Here is Scott Schebler. And he smacks one into right field, a base hit. It gets by Santana. Suarez will score. And Schebler on his way to second, and it's an 11-7 game.
This is the part of the batting order, like we were talking about, that has done a lot of the damage tonight. Schebler really swinging the bat well.
A 4 RBI night for the Reds right fielder, who I think you can say now he has snapped out of his early season slump. Had a couple of hits, including a home run yesterday against the Cubs. 2 hits he has driven in for tonight. Here's Zach Cozart. A triple, a double, and 2 walks. That run in the bottom of the 8th looking a little bit more important right now for the Crew.
Yeah, no kidding.
Cozart at the plate now. Stuart Turner scheduled on deck, but it's like Tucker Barnhart grabbing a bat. And that is the case. Barnhart on deck for the Reds. A ball, a strike to Cozart. The first run allowed by Jacob Barnes this season.
But it's unearned.
Right. Well, the error on the ground ball hit by Suarez. The error charged to Orlando Arcia. 2 balls, 1 strike. Schebler, the runner at second. A little trouble here. 3-1. Jacob Barnes, the 5th reliever that Counsell has called upon here tonight. 3-1 pitch. No need to see this team move the line in the 9th anymore.
No, no walks. Make them hit their way on, right?
Yes, sir. Jacob Barnes ready with a payoff pitch to Cozart. Got him swinging for out number 2.
That's a big out to get, that guy. First time he's been out tonight. And Tucker Barnhart got a pinch hit for a guy that's got 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a walk.
About that.
Threw that one right by Zach Cozart.
So Barnes 1 out away from helping the Brewers to win number 10. And here is Tucker Barnhart. 275 average for Barnhart. The regular catcher here for this Reds team. And Barnes getting things organized. Barnhart was 1 for 8 against the Crew in the series at Great American Ballpark. And he shoots one out of play for strike 1. Barnes rearing back and letting it fly. Again, early offense for the Brew Crew. Trying to make it a hold up here tonight. Snap this 3-game losing skid. Schebler, the runner at second. 1 strike pitch to Barnhart. Fastball away.
There's been a lot of 4-seam fastballs from Jacob Barnes tonight. It's usually one cutter after another. Going a different route.
Break-even pitch coming to Barnhart. And that's it in the air, left field. Thames going over, and that is a foul ball. One strike now away is Jacob Barnes. Turned into a grinder of a game here. Brewers with a couple of first-inning homers. Another one in the second. Eric Thames with a couple of bombs tonight. The Reds have tried to chip away, but now Barnes trying to turn him back a final time. One and two the count. Barnes ready to let it rip. Here it comes. Swung on and missed, and the Brewers win it. Barnes gets back-to-back strikeouts to put an end to the first game of this series, as the Brew Crew getting the big bats going early again with the home run power. A couple of bombs from Thames, another one from Hernan Perez, and the Brewers get their 10th win.
Yeah, nice job by the Brewers offense early. You know, Garrett giving up 10 runs in the first 4 innings, and the Brewers able to grind it out. It wasn't easy, but they end their 3-game losing streak.
All right, Brewers take the opener by a score of 11-7 here at Miller Park. Let's send it down to Craig Deshawn, standing by with Brewers Live.
That guy's the hero right there, Eric Thames. We're going to catch up with him. What a night, and what a way to open up against the Cincinnati Reds in his career. We've got it covered for you next. Brewers Live, presented by Ascension, on the way.